What's up, guys? To celebrate 21 coming to an end, we want to do an updated list of the best dating apps out there for you guys to use. Alright, so this list is going to be based on my own experience along with a bunch of other guys. We asked about half a dozen guys to rate their best dating apps, and the results were pretty similar. In first place, we have a tie between Bumble and Hinge. So I believe last year when we did the list, Tinder was kind of in first place, but now Bumble and Hinge has taken the lead. And which one is better is going to depend on which area you live in. So for some guys, Bumble works better. For some guys, Hinge works better. Now the two big differences between these two apps: on Bumble, the girl has to message you first, and on Hinge, you don't get a bio, you just get these prompts, right? And Hinge has recently allowed a new feature where you can have a prompt with your voice. So that could be a nice little advantage to show off that sexy voice you guys have been working on. So these two are going to be in first place. These two I highly recommend for every guy who's serious about meeting girls to get: Bumble and Hinge. Second place is going to be Tinder. So this one is still up there. Now, I think for most guys, it's not as good as it used to be 3-4 years ago. So it used to be Tinder was number one. Now Bumble and Hinge are in the first place. So Tinder is still in second place. It's still solid. Just a few weeks ago, I met a girl off Tinder, so it's still definitely there. But it's kind of falling by the wayside. Now, in other countries like South America and Eastern Europe, Tinder will probably still be in first place. But we're talking first world countries like America, Canada, and Western Europe. And in those places, Bumble and Hinge has taken the lead. It's going to be interesting to see what happens in the next few years to see if Tinder is going to keep falling down by the wayside. I think they're making some mistakes as a platform that's become a lot of pay to play. They have a lot of bots, and Bumble and Hinge have kind of taken the lead in terms of quality of girls. You know, the girls there are just more attractive, and they're also more serious about meeting up, which is important. Third place, we have Facebook Dating. So this is a new platform that's come on the market. Now, obviously, Facebook has been around for ages, but Facebook Dating has just recently come out. And Facebook Dating is kind of weird. Some people don't have the option of downloading, and some people do. It doesn't really make any sense. Sometimes you just don't see it for months and then it just randomly pops up. So to see that, you go under your activities under Facebook, and you look under, and sometimes it'll just say dating, right? So for more information on that, there's a lot of good guides on it. But essentially, Facebook Dating is interesting because a lot of people who have Facebook who normally would not be on dating apps, right? Like these are girls who would never be on Tinder, Bumble, and Hinge, will be on Facebook Dating. Now, the one downside with that is that chicks there, on average, from what everyone's reporting, are a bit more flaky because they're less serious about meeting up. However, you do have a high quality of girls that you would normally not run into. So if you do have the chance, for some reason your phone is not bugging out, you can get Facebook Dating, then go ahead and do that. Now, there's a few other ones that I want to mention. So these are going to be in a much lower tier. These are not, I would say, essentials for 2021 for guys. And they're going to be Field, which is basically a BDSM app. If you live in a major city like New York, Los Angeles, this can be a good app. But if you live in a smaller town, you're probably not going to find many people on there. So this is strictly a hookup BDSM app. The problem is the quality sometimes is questionable, and there's also not that many people on there. Pros and cons. Then you have CHISPA, which is a Latino dating app. So if you live in an area with a lot of cute Latino girls, this one might be good. But you also have a lot of bots on there, a lot of chicks who are just not really sure if they want to meet up or not. So also can be very hit or miss. JSWIPE, if you like those Jewish girls, nothing better than JSWIPE. And the chicks on there, on average, are a bit more serious about meeting up. But again, this is only going to really work if you live in an area with a decent Jewish population, like New York, Boston, cities like that. If you live in the middle of nowhere where there's no Jewish people, well, then you're going to be shut out of luck. And last up, Coffee Meets Bagel. So this is basically the unofficial Asian dating app. This dating app has a high percentage of Asian girls. I would say something close to like 40-50%. So if you're into Asians and you live in an area with a high Asian population, this can be a decent app. It's a little bit less forward, so going too sexual on there will backfire. You have to be a little bit more laid back on there, but it can also be a decent option. So these are the more niche apps. And last on the list, this one is in a category of its own, but I felt like the list wouldn't be complete if I didn't mention that, is Seeking Arrangement. So this is a sugar daddy dating app, and a lot of people are using it, to get sugar babies. Now, I'm personally not a fan of that at all. I think as a guy, you should never pay for sex, but you can also use it as a regular dating app, believe it or not. So you can go on there and use it just to meet girls the regular way, although it's going to be harder, but that's a topic in of itself. So here are my selections, and I always say if you're a guy who's serious about meeting girls online, you want to get the big three, and those are still Bumble, Hinge, and Tinder, right? But if you can only get two, then stick to Bumble and Hinge. All right, hopefully you guys found this video valuable. If you want to see more no bullshit practical dating content, then make sure you smash that like button, hit subscribe, and click the bell for notification. Thank you guys for watching, and until next time.